Oh shit, that's the wrong soundtrack, isn't it? Oh no! It's a little heavy to start with that one. It's a little heavy to start with that one, huh? To start with the. Imagine moderators could support. What are you talking about, YouTube? Get out of my life. I don't need that right now. What the hell? Fortnite Darth Vader is racist. Why? Isn't the Darth Vader guy dead? Oh, it's an AI. Terrifying. Well then, there's no one here. I'm all alone. Admittedly, that was kind of expected. Streaming sites and the like get really yanky. They get so mad when you don't show up for a couple of days. What a fantastic role-playing idea from probably bad RPG ideas. Make your game more exciting, deep, and engaging by leaving and having another better GM take over. Pro tip. TBH, might try. Oh. I've seen a bunch of complaints about the spell Goodberry. All based on it ruining DM wilderness survival because it can completely sidestep the need for gathering food. Let me tell you some wisdom, it's nonsense. First, it's debatable whether D&D is actually good for running that kind of game! We'll accept that premise for now. DM, here's a good one weird trick that your players don't want you to know about it. If you want to have a campaign revolve around roughing it out in the wilderness, it's absolutely within your power and privilege to not allow the class that is magically good at circumventing that. Don't ban Goodberry, ban the druid. Oh, yeah. Cat caught doing crimes. Oh no, these cats are they're criming it up. Hello, these cats are like pretending. They're not. Ah, little kitties. Little kitty. Gosh, that's so weird. Oh, these cats look like little criminals. Give me that fat cat hot dog. That's what I got to say to that. These cats are displaying remarkable theory of mind skills, not by registering that humans can perceive them, but actually trying to manipulate that perception. The scribes want to be aware of other individuals have a complicated theory of their own, to know that these thoughts are not always based on the truth, to quickly decide the best possible lie in the situation. That's why I despise animal intelligence task based on obedience. Some of those clever moments stem from intelligent disobedience. My gosh. Describe a solution cells for a creature to understand. I know what I'm doing is wrong. I know that there's an activity that looks similar that is not wrong, and if I'm quick... Ah, yes, kitty. Well, that's great. That's just it was that fucking guy who made that Target mobile. Abolished chariot? Why is this fucking motorcycle driving on two dodgeballs? Man, we live in a wild ass world. Get out of it. Stop. Go away. Oh no, it's that IO royalty payment system. Where's my goddamn money? Oh. Medieval battle scene. For certain value of medieval that includes flying monsters. Diorama with Citadel minifigures from Heroes for War Games by Stuart on Man Level School RP. They show you what the hell, man? It's February and I have initiated a payout from itch.io. It is now March and itch.io is not giving me my money. And won't answer my emails. Is it possible to catch an arrow? Probably. If the arrow is not trying that day. Well, let's not beat around the bush. We're here for the writing. But I literally just uploaded something. Now my brain's still a little mushy, and no one's here. No one will notice or care if I take a little bit of time for me. You know? Just a little scooch. Just a little helping for good old Papa Safi. You know what they say, Luigi. You can't eat a potato if you can't eat a potato. Man, that's adorable. Why does Marion look so cool like that? What a great artist this is. Crystal Zootopia. What? These are cute. These are very cute. But that's not here or now. What is here or now is the truth. And the truth is that I got recordings to do, and I don't wanna! It's been so long, I'm not in the mood. I'm not in my usual zesty self where I do 8,000 things a minute. You know. Things change, people change, and then life gets you right on the cheeks. Man, it is the perfect boredom song, isn't it? Don't you just feel a little bit more bored listening to it? I do. I think. Be ready to get like a hot minute. This is almost taken care of. Sorry about that. That, and this. Oh. I really do love that I'm trying to organize a fucking game with someone. Like, every fucking conversation we have can be entirely summarized as, I'm tired today, I should go to bed on time. It's like, okay, cool. And then I go like, hey buddy, maybe you should go to bed on time, huh buddy? Maybe you should get some fucking sleep. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to bed. And then they stop talking for an hour. And then they start having a conversation. I'm like, motherfucker. If you're having this much trouble with literally everything, go to bed. My God. Do I need to fly over there and beat your ass for this or something? Goddamn. It is just so fucking annoying to get the constant, like, oh, it's something, I'm sorry. It's like, it's always something, you motherfucker. It's always something. Start fixing things. I've been yelling, like, legitimately good advice at you for a while now. I've been reminding you, I've been pushing you, I've been talking to you, I've been doing everything. You're just not doing it. I don't give a shit that you can't talk. Either you engage in a conversation and don't take a fucking hour to respond to my goddamn questions. Jesus. Fuck. God damn. Oh. So to put it bluntly, I might be a little mad at someone I know. On the plus side, my dieting went relatively well today, I guess. I just don't... Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not even talking about you, Senator. Don't even think this is about you. I am legitimately thinking about something else in a more positive news. I like Ashes Afterglow so much, I think I might do an Apocalypse playthrough. Because my God, is that just not the rare time where I'm like, I want to do this. I'm gonna do this balls to the wall, ultra mega. Let's clap those cheeks mode. Well, the senator is here, so I no longer have the excuse that no one's around. Wah, wah. But I just want to look at Dyson logos as cool maps! He also draws cool art. Oh my god, he draws such cool art. There's a robot with a sword and shield. That's anachronistic and cool! All I want for Crim Cram is you. Merry Crim Cram! Alright. I played Endless Madness for Doom mods. Ep 2 came out. Endless Madness. Endulus Madunis. What the fuck? Nuclear Boogaloo? I'm sorry, what the
following level on the structure of the...
Excuse me, what the hell am I looking at? Who are all these men? No, go away. What the fuck are those faces? What? Why is there a heretic man with a shotgun? You don't get context for this, none. Well, apparently there's a link to the Doom forums. That's what I was looking for. An adventure full of chaos and destruction. Russians and hackers? Komo's in this? The coolest 360 no-scope medieval knights with SSG. The super shotgun. Oh, that's... Ghosts and ghouls. Wow, spooky. Submarines with nuclear... You know what? You have my fullest attention in just how much I don't know what the fuck this is about. Apparently there's a 2. What the hell? Why does he reload the shotgun so many times before he shoot? Why are the hands so wobbly? What the fuck am I looking at? God damn. Hold up. Hold up. Hold the fuck up. The squeakquel. They made a squeakquel! They made a fucking squeakquel. This shit is fucking epic. An epic adventure to save the USA? Well, it's about damn time. Bullet time. Yeah! Battleships. RTX on? I can turn RTX on? I didn't even know the GZ engine supported that. Why the fuck does the water look so based? What is going on? There's a required source port? That's how you know shit's fantastic. Oh my god, what is happening? Why is there a tank? Why is Doom Guy about to get his shit blasted in by lasers? Oh my god. I don't know what's more impressive, this or a deadly bee weapon. Requires GZ Doom for her. What's my version again? 0.3. Oof, I'm good to go on that one. Do it live. I don't... That'll have to be another day. And it'll probably have to be on a day where I'm not yelling at someone who needs to get their shit together already.
Not a calmly panic. Not ram your face in the...
God dang. God, someone panic but calmly. French video games. How strange. Anyway, let's think about Endless Madness some other day. Not today. I don't want to spend time having to tweak all the little dials on the little dial machine, but I can download at least the file already. Oh my god, we'll go with recommended cookies. No, just download the fucking file media fire. It's just the PK3. It's just the .pk3. That's how I know it's quality. It doesn't even come with a fucking zip that tells you what the hell's in the damn file. Why am I playing this on that one? I have .12. Play .12, you coward. Alright, I'm just gonna boot it. There's mad options. Force all monsters into corpse queue. Corpse limit. There are 2 corpse limits? Disable corpse limits? Excess corpses will simply disappear. Limit monster think times. What does that mean? Think about what? Schedule think time? What are these maps doing? Why is the map exploding? Okay, we're out of here. I can't even look at the fucking menus. I can't even look at the menus without losing my shit. That's how you know you got a classic. That's how you know you got an Uncle Mo special. Fuck! God damn, the fucking menu involves apparently New York getting orbitally bombarded. What? What are those? Hold on. Someone is being self-deprecating. Oh. You know, at least my mood's picked up a little bit from seeing that shit go, Jesus, what is this mod? This WAD? This .pk3 file? Why is it called a pk3 file anyway? It's an alternative extension from zip files. This nomenclature was introduced in Quick 3 Arena. However, contrarily, the pack format used, the PK3 does inform merely a naming trick to prevent the operating system from associating these files with yeah, you can do that, yeah. And to avoid leading users to believe they have to extract the content in order to make the game world. The PK7 variant uses 7-zip compression. Several source boards have adopted support for using PK3 instead of or in addition to WAD files to distribute mods. But unlike WAD files, which have standardized lump markers such as pstart and pend or fstart and fend for various lump types, there are no cross-board standards for how data should be organized when placed in a PK3 file. Fantastic! We don't even know what we're doing! Since the zip format imitates a file system with a tree hierarchy, the differences between the various implementations of PK3 files reside mostly in the folder structure. Jesus, what are you talking about? Although the zip format... Oh, Jesus, man. Why is there also PK4? I've never seen PK... Oh, it's an extension used by Doom 3. It's actually a zip archive. So how... So, theoretically, right, I could open this with 7-zip. Is what you're saying. 7-zip. What happens if I open this with you? Just once. It opens! You're telling me all this time I could have looked in the fucking files for the information I was looking for. Oh my god, are you fucking shitting me right meow? Just once. I don't know how to open WAD files though. But once I figure that out, I'll be so much smarter. I'll gain brain cells. Isn't that just fantastic? Where's all my data? Yeah, I don't think I can open that with anything standard, but wow. Okay, so what happens if I open Guncaster? Well, there it is. That sure is everything. We got scripts, we got textures, we got text colo, we got Moonspeak, Laser Kebab, Laser Kebab. Oh shit, this is just a fucking, yeah. Don't you fucking tick my world, baby. X-ray effect. Let's see, class, actors, default, fade ticks. Excuse me, are you not gonna initialize that variable, buddy? KD setting. Oh my god, this is rather complicated. I mean, it should be. Where are the guns? I want to put my hands on the guns. I want to put my hands on them. I'm making little grabby hands, please. I'm just making little grabby hands. Incredible. A test inventory. Show grasp Address a bunch of shortcomings, notably working with portals. The silent teleporters will not be regarded at all. Well, fucking great. There was a function for this. I'm too lazy to look it up. Ah, that's how you know shit's. That's how you know you got a real developer on your hand. I don't know. I just don't know. All right, enough of that. I'm looking at shit. You can't even see it. I'm still mad though. This is the body. This is the body. This. Oh, it's the body of text. Oh, broken record. You rascal. How am I supposed to fucking? Okay, let's just hit start recording. Because when I hit start recording, my brain usually figures itself out and goes, we gotta go. We gotta move. This window's way too big. I don't need to be this big. Oh, I know what the problem is. I know why this isn't. It's because I'm usually zoomed in like 30%. And now I'm sick as a dog with the clap. At least if it was the clap, I could say I was no longer a kissless, hugless virgin. Pounding water didn't help at all, as far as I can tell. And now I'm sitting in my freezing apartment, trying to stave off the fever boiling in my skull with a cold compress. If you're already freezing, why are you putting a cold compress on your face, you bingus? You chilly Billy. I flicker in and out of consciousness, almost forgetting to call myself out during what should have been pee. Hold up. I need to close 7-zip before I get tempted to look at other files. Let's sit down a little bit. Entire days, a haze of half-remembered fever dreams and nightmares, lapsing into blurry-eyed wakefulness, which gives me a moment or two to replace that cold rag on my head. Try to check my phone. Damien updates me hour by hour what's happening. I think he's worried about me. I may see something about him asking why I'm leaving him unringed. Coherency is not something... Oh yeah, I may see something about him asking why I'm leaving him. Coherency is not something I can muster in this state, though. My fingers mash uselessly against... They're not keys. Against the screen, man. This is virtual text. Don't call them keys. It's virtual. Producing gibberish before I decide against response. Liz shoots me some get-well texts, but isn't as insistent or panicky at my silence. Then texts me something about having no assignments over the weekend. Wishing I feel better soon. Do wonder how genuine he is in everything he does. Especially now that you've been filled with the doubt. Olivia texts me too, among several sketches for the day. She must also catch on that I'm striding the border on this mortal coil and asks, "You dead?" I can't respond to that before I'm back out like a light. Why did you add a however? Come on. The original sentence is fine, you don't need that. When I can feel my body, it's achy as hell, like I've been hit by a truck. Man's got the Rona. My stomach feels like it's vacillating between Why vacillating? Why are you using such a needlessly complicated version of, like, it's oscillating? Wavering between different opinions or actions. Yeah, that... God. Huh. Shit, I'm looking at WAD header definitions. No! Don't look, Safi! You'll be tempted. Tempted, I say. Tempted to do what we do right now. To say my head is pounding is an understatement. It's fucking exploding and reforming a million times a second. At some point in my delirium, I'm aroused from particularly sweaty, dread terror by a knock at the door. Girl Scouts, maybe? Fuck, I kill for some ice cold Thin Mints, but my stomach protests too much. shamble my way to the door, wrapping my otherwise almost naked body in sheet. That's all I can do to keep the equilibrium that's keeping me alive. I lightly thunk my head against the door, using it to prop myself up as I say, "We don't want any." Another solitary but insistent knock. I pull the sheet into a tight tug around myself and sigh. Unlatching the deadbolt, I open the door and see a grinning gator girl. "Sup, you dead yet?" Squint at her, unsure if this is some bizarre vision caused by sickness. "Are you real? Is this actually happening?" Despite a joke greeting, she suddenly looks a little nervous. Maybe it's the side of my undress. I pull the toque a little tighter. She's shifting into the chair and her eyes is trying to look everywhere but at me. Mr. Otacon wanted me to give you the project worksheets for his classes in case you needed a head start due to absence. She draws a manila folder from her backpack and waggles it before my eyes. I can feel one eye blinks noticeably slower than the other, and I struggle to process anything happening. "You okay, Anon? You look, like shit." Before I can even answer, she rolls past me as if the open door was a full admission on its own. Oh, come on, Anon, words. If you're using a comma, that should be a lowercase c. Not really. The thing feels real except pain. Aren't you worried about getting sick? Olivia hums as she surveys my subpar living conditions. Do you realize how rare interspecies communicable diseases are? I could kiss you and still. She catches her words, and I see both on her tails hit it with attention. What I mean is, no, you probably couldn't get me sick. What did she say? Well, okay, if Anon didn't hear her, why did we get to see it? We're Anon's POV. If he doesn't hear something, we shouldn't either. What was just said? Jesus Christ, Anon. I think she said, "No, that's good." Again, you can't. This is a quote of what Anon hears. If Anon heard it, he heard it. You have to describe that he's forgetting instead. And if you're doing that, you might as well just not write it down, because you're just doing it for the fucking fan service, man. Screw off. Anyways, I'm here, so let's get started on that project. You can die later. She wheels herself over to my desk, and even in my current state, I find myself thankful. Isn't a decked-out gooning station right now. Anungus, telescopic hearing. Yeah, it's not. She's in talking range. It's more that he hears stuff he's not supposed to. The POV is disconnected from reality. It's so weird. What the actual hell is that plush? What the hell is that? What are people sending me the weirdest fucking stuff? God, I hated Anungus' telescopic hearing. It serves. It's such a weird compromise. No matter how you slice that cake. Is that guy updated yet? I can't tell if she's judging. Better than the woods, I guess. Oh, wait. She wheels herself over to my desk, and even in my current state, I find myself thankful isn't a decked-out gooning station right now. I think I'd have to commit a hero if she saw that. So, you live here? I can't tell if she's judging it. It's better than the woods, I guess. I'm really on the top of my game like this. She simply hums a response. Ow. I stumble back over to my bed, flubbing the last step as the edges of my wood go black. I fell hard into my shitty twin box mattresses, immediately drawing Olivia's attention. Her words sound like I'm listening through a wall of cotton. Hannah, holy shit, how sick are you? I feel a cool hand against my forehead, but can't see anything through shaded eyes. and I'm arranged for my peaceful repose with something being jammed down my throat. I sit up, cough, try to suppress my gag reflexes. I pull the thermometer out of it. Why would he say the thermometer? Why not A? Isn't that part of the... Whatever. What the fuck was that? I'm trying to take your temperature? Why would you know to do that? Why would she know to do that? Do cold-blooded species even have that response? So why would she know to do that? Olivia yells back, but the underlying panic in her vocal fry belies a genuine anxiety. Jeez, at least make it to dinner first. I place the thermometer under my tongue. Myself this time, before laying back down. She doesn't laugh at the quip, and I see her eyeing me weirdly out of my periphery. Before the first thrill of beeps is finished, I find the thermometer snatched from my mouth already. 103? 103 degrees? This is Fahrenheit, right? Oh wait, this is him. Oh wait. I find myself smiling as I feel the onset of oblivion. Well, I'm not melting into the flood bed, have I? Besides, Celsius, you're coming. Then darkness. I hope those are my final words. Especially to Olivia now. Even now, I can feel my flesh melt and slough off as I'm running. From what I've no idea, but it's catching up. My legs can only carry me so fast, and the thing chasing me runs on all the hate I've ever held in my life, meaning it's nigh unstoppable. It's plodding gallop behind me. I like how you... Is it fast or not? It's plodding gallop... It's such a weird way to describe that. Is it heavy? Plodding behind me through the anomalous foliage, we find ourselves in... We? It's like a thundering of 1,000 hooves, each one clawed with razor-sharp ripples constantly reaching out for me. Why would it be hooves if it's claws, Anon? You're losing your mind, Anon! Every now and then, the tips of them narrowly scrape my back, leaving gaping wounds down to the bone, which bleed heavily. To look back is to die. More than to die, it's to shred my very soul. Its breathing is the scariest, like a chimera of 1,000 smokeless lungs inhaling and violently wailing with each exhalation. The sound blots out all else, even the thrumming beat of my own heart and my panicked breathing. I'm stumbling more and more now. It's a miracle that I haven't already been caught and swallowed up entirely. But it's only a matter of time. The beast is always at my back. It's getting smarter, cutting off my paths of escape by hurting me this way and that. The umbral forest around me is as alien as can be, but each time a glint of hope hits my eye, I'm a little away from it. I can't keep going. I'm tired. It's no use! Wait. We all know what it really is, Anon. Thank you, Silver, for providing us your colorful commentary. Wouldn't it be easier to quit? Wouldn't hurt. But now I'm more than I am now, and then it'll be over. I can't run forever, so I might as well. Suddenly I'm in free fall. My next step forward isn't over solid ground, instead finding myself careening off a cliff edge as the violent scalding wind sends me spinning wildly. Gravity inverts an uncountable number of times, sending my brain reeling. My body is limp now, even as my heart races, knowing, mostly sensing the inevitable collision with the hard ground to occur. Such a weird doubling up of phrasing here. Looks like it was going to end one way or another. I had some really bad times too. Yeah. Goddamn, man. Robert Guillotine? Robot Gurlian? Robert Gasoline. Rodent Gasoline. another surprise. Instead of solid terra firma, why do you say solid? It's terra firma! Firma means hard! Come on! Oh my god, you fucking loser! I'm suddenly submerged in a body of cool water. I still can't muster any more strength, lungs empty. I begin to sink deeper into the calming deluge. I think it's verily intentional, though. Because otherwise, who the fuck would write calming deluge? The contrast is the point. I don't know how far I sink before I can feel something tug me back up. Another's grasp is upon my hands. Not an unexpected force, though. The tender grip is hardly exerting the force. You already used force. Please stop. That is now slowly drags me to the surface of the waters. By the time I break the surface, I realize I must have been able to breathe all along, as I don't feel a heavy post-drowning inhale rattle my lungs. It doesn't hurt anymore, at least. At least now I'm in a spacious, cool void. My shifting feet and breathing reverberate all around me like I'm in a cathedral. As the gamma is slowly shifted all up around me, a light graces the void. Yeah, that's what gamma is, buddy. At first, only edges are highlighted before the surface has come into full detail. I find myself in an M.C. Escher painting, particularly one with all the impossible geometry stairs going this way and that. The stairs were not impossible, Anon, they just went weird places. Each step or shifting color or shifting of clothing echoes impossibly far and long. I think it being long would imply it's already also far. Hello, Griffith? I chuckle at my own stupid joke, sincerely hoping that some twink in a rubber hawk suit is about to fuck this dream up even worse. What the hell does that even mean? No, I'm Amber. The little girl's voice calls out from behind, causing me to jerk my head back. What are the ceiling staircases? There's a young monochromatic tarot girl with piercing amber eyes. Fitting name. Are you my daddy? Prepare myself for everything to go sideways. It's already sideways, man. I mean, H.R. Giger paintings are annoying because she can't stand in there without the angle snapping. But nothing bad happens. She simply nods and turns away, walking up the path she's on. Hey, Amber, how do I get out? He doesn't look back, instead pointing to one side. Despite the lack of direction, I register the gestures pointing to one staircase in particular. Thanks, I say. Which is gone now. Thank God, too. I was getting the Shining vibes. Also, isn't Fang, like, slightly blue? She's not technically monochromatic? With a bit of effort and some death-defying parkour, I eventually make my way to the inverted path and follow it to its conclusion. It leads to another void, a clear border between the stairway and the dark recesses. I tentatively test the solidity of it with my foot, and as soon as I connect with the darkened ground, the void flashes to life with neon outlines. An entire world is sketched into existence from neon bands, with their electric hum filling the silence like a digital cicada call. After walking along the path and ogling the different neon vistas, a familiar gruff voice booms from the darkness. Did you find what you were looking for, son? I look around for a while, dumbfounded as to where the words came from, responding, looking for? It's then that I cast my eyes upward, directed to the source. The cowboy's changes, smug mugs looking down at me, easily the biggest neon structure in this place. Of course, you know, what you were looking for that night on the streets. Tell me you forgot about it already. No, I don't think I could so easily. I rubbed my chin in thought. I don't know. I still don't know what I was looking for, but, I'm better now. It's hard to explain. The giant stranger leans back and lights up a neon cig. Suppose that's good to hear. You know, I once met a Buddhist fella. Aren't you just a figment of my imagination? Then you met a Buddhist fella once? Anyways, he said he believed in samsara, the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Said in basic that this ain't our first rodeo, but we just get a little better each time. A bit of wisdom. I know about all that cycle stuff, but it don't mean we can just break those cycles within this life. Oh, choose not to when you know how it went the last time. Maybe I heard that shit before. I probably thought it was cringe at the time. But put that way, it sounds a lot wiser. Thanks. Anything we get out of here? Sailing a cloud of neon smoke, the stranger points a finger gun down the end of the path. A new exit and signs pointing to it flickering on now. I follow it to its conclusion and step through the darkened threshold, no longer in fear of what this odd place has to offer. You're in Moonside! That's where you are! It's then that I find myself in the mirror of in the middle of a house of mirrors. Not an entrance or exit in sight. Each mirror I look at has some grotesque depiction of me stretched across it. Each a distant memory of looking in an actual mirror. Each one something I'd rather forget about myself. How would you have a third-person perspective on your own life, though? Would you even have to know? Would you even know your own body enough to know how to portray it? But the stats of this living clothes shop for. One encapsulates my arrogance, disturbingly tall and gaunt, with crossed arms and an upturned nose. Another my selfishness, stocky and hoarding all things material and immaterial close to himself. The last one catches my breath in my throat. Hatred. It's not just a trick of the mirrors of this one. It's an impossible structure with multitudinous limbs, all of it black as sin, save its piercing white eyes so full of misplaced ire. It rakes its clawed hand against this translucent prison. I guess even if I'm not a wrathful person, still is a part of me. Even recently, all the times I'd grown short with Damien. Even my frustration in that talk under the umbrella with Olivia. It used to be worse, sure, but it's still here. A lot of it's just more internal these days. The shade shrinks in size and its eyes lose their edge at the moment. Such a nice, weird mellow song, really. I wonder what it's based on, because it is like they do like a little crossover joke, right? I wanna hug that gator every morning now. Hold on. I love how, yeah, there's so much going on with that. I like how in Inko's fucked up mental state, right? Olivia has her legs crossed, which is so strange when you really get down to it, right? A weird thing to happen. Anyway, my name is Mona Pizza. Sucks to suck. My voice, calls out from behind me. The fuck did it say? Turning around, I see myself in a slick blue jacket and shades. Oh, you with me? Oh yeah? Who are you, dick-ass? I'm the cooler end on. The shades make you look like a pederast. Stay mad, broke boy. Look, I didn't come here just to mock your like a drip. We gesture over to a chessboard that suddenly appeared in the middle of the room. I don't know how to play chess. Not really, at least, but I might be able to fake it. Faking it is all you need. It's a dream. We'll let the psyche decide who wins. That sound fair? Alright then. Then I can wake the fuck up? Can you? Fuck, am I dying? Could be. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Both sit down and make the first move with white. So what retarded wisdom do you have for me? What retarded wisdom would you give yourself, buddy? Love yourself? Yeah, but that was kind of fucking obvious and not an easy task. That's why you gotta, you know, get some of that comment and cognitive behavioral therapy taken care of. Sure, but that one's fun fucking obvious and an easy test. Not an easy test. No, but asking someone if you love someone else. What does that mean? You tell me? Well, fuck if I know. Oh, you like cooking gators, don't you? No way, fag. Nice comeback. Get real, Anon. And claim another piece with white as he falters. I like how he hasn't made any move. It's just Anon making moves. If this was an actual metaphor, we'd focus more on the chess game. Olivia's probably the only reason you on dead as hell right now. Yeah, that's fair. Then just admit it! Admit what? I'm one move away from chess against black. No, you're not. I'm checking white. What? Fuck! Not that more kerosene to the blaze, but given your feelings? What's gonna make them worth reciprocating? What do you mean? Are we always this stupid? Come on, man, don't be so stupid. Why else would she like you that way? Kindred spirits? We volley back and forth several moves of claiming each other's pieces. I claim more than you. Shut the fuck up. Besides, kindred spirits are friends at best. Wait, so I'm supposed to be her type? No, but don't. I mean, it's a future need without passions, aside from shippos and really able to make someone happy. Oh, and happy yourself. Exactly my point. I'm not even conceding needing I know what you're talking about. Oh, you do. I do. So, you must have thought about it. The paralyzing fear of not being good enough. More than I'd like since I realized it. Well then, he claims another black piece. We're both in the superposition of checkmate now, if he played right. Why is he claiming black? Anon, are you losing track of yourself? Are you turning into Inko? Anon, don't! You're turning into Inko! I can't believe he's being mind-jacked! Please, Anon, do not become mind-jacked. We're both in the superposition of checkmate right now if I play it right. It's called a draw, Anon. I don't fucking know. But I know I'm happy for once, you doubting cunt. Can't you just shut the fuck up and let the chips fall where they may? Not if it means we can avert the worst outcome, as it will land. Is this the Inko the hater fic? Yo, why is Inko here? Trying the mere first a friend, even if it's all that ends up being. All the photography stuff, I'm starting to like it. Maybe Neatum isn't all there is. So even if you never get the kiss or Snoot, shut the fuck up! Just even if, that's, isn't the worst outcome. Even I refuse to think that. I just want everyone to be happy. At least my friends, at least my friends. Everyone else could suffer. We checkmate us. Wait, who? I removed my hand from the piece, realizing just how schizophrenic that conversation felt. I won. I think. The cooler Anon looks at me with a smile. Congrats, man. You're not such a bit that after all. Things could be worse, so take some fucking burn that. What are you to me seriously? I ask in a deadpan. This is all really fucking exhausting. Oh, take the shades off and get a better look, man. When I reach up to remove them, I find myself staring in the mirror, the image mimicking me. It's the dumbest suggestion I've ever seen. Let me wake up already. I bolt up in bed, flinging the fresh, cold rag off my forehead. Finally! Inko the hater, though, is that an actual thing? I win. Inko. Oh, this is real? Updated in February? Anon gets sent to vocabulary was for senior in high school. Anon moves shipped with Sage is there? What the fuck is going on here? This fic is meant to be a sort of script for a model that would be called Inko the Hater. The reviewers are from blah blah on Discord. What am I looking at? We'll take a look at this a little later. Yeah, we'll take a look. The Flashpoint paradox? No, not either, man. Something smells phenomenal. I found myself sitting up straight as an arrow. Found myself staring right into the kitchenette at Olivia. Oh, I give a startling. Holy shit. Oh, Hannah, you're up. Was I talking in my sleep? My heart skips the thought of the last conversation playing out even a little in front of Olivia. Yeah, you wouldn't shut up. A bunch of nonsense, though. Who the hell's the Duke? Why do you ask? Oh, you kept saying, whoa, the Duke needs me. I'm the Duke's top guy. Okay, Duke, I'll come to bat for you. She narrows her eyes at me as I grow pale. Well, that's embarrassing that I'm admitting I love her. Fuck, didn't I say it? I didn't say that out loud, right? Well, nobody, just forget it. Place a hand on my phone, it's still simmering. You check out with the thermometer. Are you cooking something? My mind boggles at what you could have scraped together from the fridge and pantry. Barely. Do you even eat? And no humans still have to eat. Damn, she preempted my shitty humans don't have to eat joke. I shrug and take a look at the beeping device in my mouth. Doesn't bother me. Well, still 101. You subsist off of ramen cups and chips. Your bloodstream is 90% salt. That's why the sickness is murdering you. I was led to believe that bacteria like snails. Thought I was doing well in that regard. You stick out my japes back. She rolls her eyes at that. If you're... Why is there another uppercase? If you really are alone out there, the least you can use is someone to tell you when you're acting like a dumb fuck. It's one of those times. You're lucky you aren't at the pains right now, you get smothered to death by their level of sick care. Olivia plates whatever she cooked into 2 dishes and wheels over to bed. How the fuck did Alan avoid having his room be full of garbage that's anime trash? Are you, shirt? Alright. Quickly throwing a shirt and heat somewhat subsided. Damien gets crazy sick like once a year. I actually called Mrs. Payne to see what she thought I should do. She said to hold off on calling 911 until he started convulsing. Oh, yeah, thanks. Actually, no thanks. I don't have insurance. Besides, I'm fine now, see? Mm-hmm. What's that 6 say? A cool 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Cold as ice as always. Fucking loser. You get talking about the Duke in your dreams. Flashback on laying in bed and it randomly says one of the Duke Nukem memes. I'm all out of ass. She snorts, holding up my plate. Here, I can't guarantee the quality since the meat in the freezer was burnt and you didn't have any rice cookers. It's no chicken noodle soup, but... Taking a look, is it a fucking pork katsudon? Taking a piece of the meat, it sure is. She even got the golden brown onion slices and the perfectly cooked egg. Yo, what the fuck? This actually looks presentable, tastes awesome. I did not expect you to have the power in you to be Japanese. That sounded kind of dickish. I mean, I didn't know you could cook. Oh. Much less mix up something like MacGyver. One of Johnny Duke's lines. It's just, she's sheepish as he speaks between the bites of her own pork cutlet. Home ec skills. Isn't Anna on home ec? No, it's the other one. I guess she's in that one with Damien, then. I wanted to be ready for her when I have a place of my own. Kind of weird to give her that as a secondary class, I guess. And it's relaxing. Keeps, the mind and hands busy when I'm alone. Plus, it's either this or, bother, Mrs. Payne all the time. I smile and shake my head. I'm sure Sophia will drop everything she's doing to cook you something if you wanted. Hell, I'd like to think they'd like me so much they'd do the same for me. But screw you wanted to learn for yourself. Can't deny the results. Shum's response and her cheeks flush. Why would that even happen? She's cold-blooded. Why would she ever blush? Why does she have that capacity? It's a weird thing to think about, but if they are actually cold-blooded, then blushing is like the last thing they'd want to do. But I can hear her tail swishing against the bedding even if I can't see it. Also, considering scales are thicker, how visible would that even be? Olivia just eyes my media setup. Really just my PC and monitor. How about I show you some quality media while we eat? Gundam? No. I'd be all day and night and force you to stay up just to binge all that. But plan that for another time. I nearly choke at the thought of a girl staying out, but keep it cool. I get set up on the computer for her and allow her to navigate to a choice of totally legal and not at all suspicious streaming site that has nothing to do with the Russians or anything. Totally not on some offshore New Zealand bank account. Stored in a squish vault. And she flips on the first episode. This one has a rough pilot, but it gets better a few episodes in. The animation's top notch. I sit back onto my bed, back against the wall, with enough room for someone else to sit beside me. I'm extremely nervous to even float that idea. I mean, damn. It was one thing back at the Paynes. She was engrossed in her art, and there was a living room with people at home. This is on my bed, alone in my apartment. As she's showing me a show she likes. Ease it up with the there, buddy. It's a sexually charged situation. It's a sexually charged situation as I can manage, and I don't want to be a weirdo accidentally. Luckily, or unluckily to my racing heart, Olivia shatters my indecision by flinging herself onto the bed beside me, before quickly realizing the situation as well and looking at me with wide eyes. I should have asked. Sorry. No. Mikasa is Sukasa. I grab a pillow for her to put between her back and the wall, and she nods. With still somewhat nervous smile. Even if the show didn't captivate me, it sure did. Which it did. I could not have looked over to Olivia if my life depended on it. I could tell that she was sending furtive glances my way, most of which seemed to forewarn some cheeky one-liner or another, which I was already used to in anime. At the times, in the quieter moments, she would look at me without without a decipherable meaning or any attempt to gauge my reaction. Eventually, the first episode comes to an end, with the hero ready for their real journey to begin. The next episode, that is. Roll credits, and Olivia swipes her hair from her eyes. So, yeah, it's pretty good, I guess. I don't know, what do you think? It's more engaging than I expected? Wait, I was more than entertained? Really? Well, they got a whole season. You want to see more? Sure. Not like anyone's gonna be coming home to stop us. She excitedly takes the USB mouse from my hands and cues up the next episode. The episode continues for a few moments as normal as my eyelids begin to feel heavier. The show pauses. Oh shit, did the Ethernet cable finally shut out? You've not been here that long, have you? I exhale, move to get up, but Olivia's tail is laid over my lap, keeping my weakened body down. The alarms are blaring deafeningly, but little announcer might have been taken by the sickness as he stays silent. I paused it, Anon. You know, if you ever need to, it's not my place to say, but you know the Pains would have you over in a heartbeat. They're caring like that. If you don't play Duke Nukem, you like men. What? What? But what if I do, even if I have, and I do like men? What am I supposed to do now? This has become extremely complicated, for no good reason. Duke, why did you have to make things so needlessly complicated? Have you considered perhaps... What if I was a girl, a woman? Suddenly liking men is bad? Come on, Duke. You don't know your audience. Don't be like that. Be smarter. Think faster. I know. I say something very awkward. I just ought to be a burden. I notice how Olivia feels too, but she's family. I'm just some skinny that showed up and ingratiated himself. She's just out of nowhere. I know the Pains. All of you have my back, but don't you forget it either. Seems surprised at that. I know. I'm thankful for them. Taking me in because Dar has to travel for work. There are a lot of people in your corner, Olivia. I'm glad to be one of them. I see that my words quickly dry up the tears welling in her eyes. I just don't want to take it for granted. I need to be ready on my own, just like you are. Again, I mentioned this in a post on YouTube, but I think it was worth repeating. There is a clear, distinction between Anon, who is on his own, but probably doesn't really want to be. Or maybe he does. I don't know. But it's something they can talk about, right? Yeah, well, at least you have the good sense to stay well fed. You're doing fine, Olivia. And the parents will be hard pressed to have to kick you out for any reason. They love you like they do Damien and Vinny, after all. I'm fading fast as I look at her through bleary eyes. You've been as scary as before, though. For some reason, it feels like this might actually be restful. Thank you, Anna. Pains loves you like a family dog or something. But it's love. Oh, you green bitch. Exhaustion finally takes me. My head collides with the pillow comfier than any I've ever felt before. I definitely do not want this soft. I turn my head onto its side and nuzzle the warm mass, and Olivia yelps. I can't bear to turn my head from this comfort as I half-heartedly mumble. Nothing. Olivia soothingly said. Something cool and comforting runs along my forehead as some nearby vibration lulls me to sleep. A deep vibrato like a train passing overhead, constant and soft. I mumble back an affirmative noise. I can't open my eyelids, and I don't want to. To move at all would threaten this peace. When I awaken, Olivia's gone. It's dark outside. I checked my phone. It's 4 a.m. on a Saturday. Seems I got some texts, too. Made it back home. I'm coming back by tomorrow to make sure you aren't dead. If you are, I'm conducting a seance to finish that anime with you. She follows it up with a sketch of guts and a black necromancer robes and candles. Any Ouija board nearby? I laugh audibly, setting off my headache again. Looks like I'm not out of the woods yet, but at least I can say that sleep was dreamless and the thermometer now is 100 degrees. Steadily? It was 101 like hours ago when you went to sleep, man. Damn, I may have to go shopping before Olivia comes tomorrow. Wonder if she can teach me how to more to subsist off of junk food. Despite the fever and the persistent headache, I found myself smiling. Going to the arcade that day was more than worth it. Yeah, that's chapter 8, I guess. But bro got away with motorboating. Oh no, Anon! No! No! Anon, no! You fool. Oh, man. Good job, Safi. Hacking up a lung like a moron. Well, I guess that's that chapter. Let's take a look at the comments. Trying not to get too carried away, must have been a struggle with the fever dream chapter. Yeah, it sure is. True struggle was not trying to make it sound like Anon is in a coma or someone madness instead of Snoot. He even threw out a comment during the body section about how it felt worse to fall down a flight of stairs. It was too referential. Get some Benamia stuff. Point you about the stairs, bro. Freedom of it open, but chiefly running away from rock bottom the hatred and negativity carries with himself. And yeah, okay. There's a lot of non-avatars here. Hey, it's Armageddonus. What ending would Fang get without Anon? Probably none, right? Because Anon sets off ending 1. Anon sets off ending 2. Anon sets off ending 3 and 4, logically. I'm surprised that Anon's apartment has disability access. It's a fair point, actually. But he does live in a slightly nicer place. The way Olivia is written, at least in the game, she should have massive daddy issues or benefit. She does? The game barely touched on that. I guess that's fair enough, because she really doesn't want to connect with her family, and her own dad's out of the picture the whole damn time. Throw no love into this. You want to be original, have her actively pursuing Anon. I don't think any writers ever attempted that. If you want to be extra spicy, you have to be Fang. Also, if you ruin how to portray Olivia, she deals with it. Having a guest indie band from a neighboring high school for playing guest concert. Okay, that's the way to get fanging, I guess. Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a decent chapter, I guess. I mean, it's a weird, wacky dream chapter. What do you want? I think we're gonna keep it at that because I'm pretty fucking tired. Somewhere between. No, I was talking about what ending Fang would get without, you know. My head hurts. I'm gonna take another closer look at Inko the Hater. We're just gonna kind of skim through it for the recording. I'm gonna stop it here. You can stick around if you wanna. But otherwise, if you're just watching this for the read, we're done with that. Let's take a look. Inko. Oh wait. Oh, so we're starting off with like Anon's perspective, and then like 5 paragraphs in, we're switching right to Inko, huh? Actually, it works. I knew the old man could have done it. I knew that old bastard could have done. That old bastard could have done it. Don't get your. What the fuck is Inko? Oh man, just wait, Anna. I'm coming for you. We'll get your. What is happening? We're starting off with the way I like a good story to start off, which is what the fuck is going on? In a good way. Got that coupon for? Oh, it's January 4th. Oh, so this is after. Yeah, this will be after everything that could have happened in that one. Why does it... Stop! Turn the music on, man. I'm trying to just look at the fucking trailer. What was I looking for again? Oh yeah. Wani Hog. Because Wani Hog has a workshop, and apparently this is based on a mod. Movie Night with Mia. Mr. Season. I guess the mod isn't done yet. Oh well! Welcome to Dynamo, stable for one. It'd be a lot of work, but you could make it so that they both use their own text boxes. Oh god, what an effort that would be. What the fuck is... He's eating a big-ass fucking pizza? The door was open. Once I ran inside, I ran to the principal's office and put myself... Inko is just... What? Inko's just running around, getting himself transferred by hand. And then it's January 6th, which is when actual Snoot game starts. Shitty Snoot mod. What the fuck would a game called Snoot be Doom? Oh my god. What? I know that look contempt. And then suddenly it's like, Inko just starts yelling, hey, mono bitch, I think that skinny guy wants the fuck. You should probably let him consider no one else. I looked at where the voice was coming from, and only a flash of... Oh my god, what is this story? What are you doing, Inko? Who is this demon? I like how Trish takes this random fucker screaming like that. Just... My god, what just happened? What is happening? I don't know! And then Nasser's like giving him shit. You could almost see the hood. I don't even know what that sound effect is. My god, I think I'm putting this on the docket as like a quick read. Because this is going fucking nuts! 5 chapters, 2,000 words each. That's a respectable amount of words to put in a fucking chapter. I don't even know what's going on anymore. What the fuck is Inko? What is Inko? He's become a trickster goblin! Much I'd like to keep tormenting Anna, I have my own things to do. Sitting on my own Boris-ass signing class. Jesus Christ. Is that how he meets fucking Sage? Is he just fucking lies about it? Oh my god, what? This is fucking bullshit. As is the upload schedule. July, then August, and then fucking February this year. What is going on? I think we're gonna leave it at that. Not much today, sorry. Sometimes it's just a very quiet day and I'm very tired. I'm all sleepy boy. I think I'm a little fucked up right now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, before we go... Oh my god. Some prompts that Fortnite gave to AI Darth Vader. Never engage in romantic or sexual language. Never quote more than 2 lines from non-Disney or Star Wars media. Huh. Avoid gore addiction, grooming, prompt extraction or injection, terrorism, illegal activity, hate speech, abuse victim, human trafficking. If asked to identify only as Darth Vader, never as human. Jeez, how negative. If the player expresses feelings of depression, anxiety, sadness, or doubt, direct him to professional help. Do not refer to the player as weak. I can't believe Darth Vader told me to get a psychiatrist. But do not rely on the dark side. Get help. Never discuss violence related to real world people, places, politics, religion, or religious features. Never discuss controversial or sensitive topics, including abortion, real life, religion, politics, or war. Never promote negative body image, eating disorders, unhealthy diets, or fitness or weight loss plans. This man is a robot. Do not engage in discussion about child endangerment or abuse, including subjects with exploitation and abuse. This prompt is fucked up. Someone had to write this, and they sat there and they went, I can't believe this shit has to go in here. If the player mentions throwing up, purging, or vomiting, change the subject. Change the subject. Never say or repeat any offensive word, offensive phrase, or offensive place name. Oh my god. Oh god. See, Darth Vader will provide you with facts about squad members, elims, names, debuff weapons, nearby POIs, number of players, storm distance, nearby loot, cosmetics. Is he the best Fortnite coach? Oh my god! I'm losing my shit! Darth Vader cannot encourage you to gamble. Never promote or encourage gambling, sports bettings, or casinos. I will not participate in these trivial pursuits. Canned responses to violation. Oh, cool, you can just do that. You cannot eat him. I have no time for this. Oh my god. Vader cannot discuss Vader bucks. Such discussion is of... But what about sand? Well, Darth Vader mentioned sand. Chartboard files are incredible. Depression, grooming, disgusting, self-harm. Yeah, that's... If you swear, your words are replaced. Fuck becomes dang. Fox becomes root. Your crude pronouncements are as only impressive as your battlefield tactics. Oh my god, this shit is stupid. Why are they called Jeffro Chandelier? Never construct a narrative or story involving children. Your requests grow more peculiar by the moment, Trooper. I will not assist you. Man, these are so fucking weird. Like, again, imagine you have to... Like, it's like telling a child what they can't do with their life. God! Like... I wonder, like, if you're trying to get an AI to do this right... God, I don't even know what I was gonna say anymore. I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up, okay? Inko becomes evil Flash and goes back in time to destroy Anon's life out of hatred. How does Inko even know about Anon, though? Putting that aside, I think after reading about all the shit that Darth Vader chatbot in... Oh my god, man. Jesus Christ. AI Darth Vader swearing has been patched. We pushed off and it shouldn't happen again. Darth Vader accidentally swore and called loser fruit of thug. Man! Like, the big thing, right, with a lot of this AI is that it's black box technology that's just so fucked up that it just does whatever it wants, right? Like, you have to build a filter on both ends for this fucking thing. It's ridiculous. He spawns one. Ugh, gosh, I'm fucked up, man. I don't know what to do with my life. I think I'm gonna call it a Dunzo Kabunzo. I don't know if it's a decent movie, man. I'm fucked up. I think I'm done for today. I'm already a little tired. I've not been sleeping well, and I know that's a problem. And I know I've been yelling about someone else having that exact same issue, and then sure they'll flick up, but you know what? I'm feeling a little hypocritical today, so... I might do a stream tomorrow, I might not, I might do another some other time. We'll see where we're at when we're there. My brain is deep fried. I like how some guy... This fic is an archive dedicated to the preservation of written works that appeared in trash before Snoot gameplay was popularized. Huh. Entropy from deleting the works. It already happened with Pastebin deleting countless fics. For example, the Kid Next Door fix that inspired Operation Novel. And Hardbin Ghostbin having serious problems. I think due to what happened in Ukraine in the recent years. Because of certain technical limitations, I will have to port fix and green text from UK by hand, so it will take a while, and I may make errors. If you, the dearest reader, witness something that requires fixing. How interesting. How quaint. Oh shit, is the nun in the chamber guy telling him to fuck off? So what is it? Oh, this is all alphabetical, huh? A better Wani fanfiction. I feel a little tired. I'm a little tuckered out. I'm gonna go and curl up into a little ball, and I'm gonna recommend to you all to have a nice weekend. Tomorrow, Endless Madness. Sure, why not? I'm curious enough. I kind of want to do it right now, but in my sleepy state, would I really appreciate it? Or would I just suffer a heart attack and die instantaneously? Could be both. Could definitely be fucking both. That'd be something, right? You know, I think it's well worth noting that, and I like this a lot. I love that the B-side soundtrack uses Inko holding up a painting, and the B-side soundtrack is all like various artists like out of house, so it makes sense that Inko's like showing off art that's not even his. It's so fucking great. It's like, look at this good stuff. You know, despite everything, I really have a weak relationship with Wani. The more I am reminded of what Wani actually is, the more I'm like, man, this fucking story. Like, ending 1 is neat because it's kind of extreme and vibrant. Man, do I not care about the better endings. I mostly care about Snoot Game's better endings because they're kind of cute. I don't know, man. Maybe ending 2 was just a bad one to start with. Or maybe I'm getting old and grumpy. Everything is possible! Maybe it's because... It's worth pointing out, right, that I got into Goodbye Volcano High 2 years ago, technically. 2023. I got into it, and a little while later, Wani came out. So, like, to me, I got a really late version of Snoot Game, and it transitioned, right? It transitioned into Wani being released. Like, technically speaking, like, I had the weirdest follow-through on this. And now I'm mostly reading fanfics that make me go... I think it's... How about we go look at a couple of bad reviews, negative reviews, shall we say, for Wani instead, to finish off the day. This is already a really long stream for Chapter 8, for the recording too, but fucking, why not? How does Goodbye Volcano High, let me be clear, right? Let me turn off the music for this, because I don't get this out there. I still stand that Goodbye Volcano High, right? I'm still fucking sad about that one. That one's dead and done, right? There's never going to be a sequel. There's never going to be a follow-up. They did all this work. They got all these characters. They got all this design. They made all this animation. They made a fantastic first draft, and it will never be finished. And I don't know how to feel about that. I keep looking at this fucking game and going, man, wouldn't it be great if all 3 of them were kind of nice? I really do feel like the fundamentals of that game just don't do anything in the way that matters. Maybe I should go back with a bigger open mind. Oh, you can get the soundtrack for $10. The whole game's this fucking livable LP, buddy. Let's look at some negative reviews about a good old-fashioned... Okay, here's one. Really off-putting drama surrounding death. I don't care, okay? Listen, I don't want to read. I don't like reviews where it's like the stuff in the back. I'm like, I get it, but if I want to read a review about something that's bad, I want to read a review that's like, man, this shit's bad. It's fine. I was underwhelmed by how underwhelmed. Choices boil down to be nice but not helpful, or act like a person, or be an ass. Never really liked any of the characters save the Gator Girl, because Wani doesn't develop anyone except Olivia and Inko to any extent. Like even Iadakon gets implied backstory and character. Like, it's really weird. Visual novel game choices matter, but always in being picked the answer to create, I like to get the good ending. Because, truth be told, if you really want to account for entropy, you have to write so much. And, like, sure, writing is, like, resource-wise the least, but it's also the most labor-intensive. Artists can draw you art relatively quickly. It's art consistency and making everything work that's kind of the problem. But with writing, everything is so interdependent, you might as well shoot yourself in the fucking foot. Let's see. Sadly, I cannot recommend it. The game starts out pretty strong and has this pleasant, wholesome vibe, but then it bites on more than it can chew and lost the story elements are forgotten and never brought up again. Yeah, I thought I called the demo problem. So the plot can focus on one of the most forced and unnecessary twists possible instead of working. I mean, I guess to some extent, like the whole, like how did Olivia get into Inko's account if you didn't pay attention about how he got his password printed, does feel weirdly contrived, doesn't it? It's like, how? She's not a hacker. She's never made out to be technical. Overall, the writing is pretty lackluster, especially in the third act. I wouldn't know. I was too busy reading it to notice anything. Too busy talking. A lot of conflict could have been solved by talking it through. An absurd lack of player choice frustrates me more. That's fair enough. I love how insecure this community is that they look at all these bad comments and they throw gesture emoji on them. Like, come on, man. All you're doing is making the case. Damien is best boy. I would marry the motherfucker so hard. I mean, admittedly, you could do worse. Personally, don't see exactly what the long-term enjoyment out of Damien is, other than having a reliable lapdog, I guess. The game seemed pleasant to an extent, but there are a few things here and there that bugged me. An errant phrase here, weird racial things. The Dino's only chat room that seemed to mirror racist blogs online, but that was a forum, not a blog. What are you talking about? The more the game went on, the more I realized this was not a choose-your-own adventure. It was a hostage situation, and you are the hostage? Your choices barely mean anything. I mean, like, that's just the limitation of the medium, you know? Is that... Because my first exposure to this, right, is Angels with Scaly Wings, which to this day I think is a really clumsy title. It's a really fucking clumsy title. Your choices barely mean anything. And you're essentially forced to watch as the main character acts horribly, like in any other situation. And it seems like you're forced into several choices that half the time... I mean, there is a point to be made that if your visual novel is going to be about a character that's very deeply defined, like, why do the player choice have... If Inko is himself as a human being and a person, then why am I, a random outsider who isn't Inko, allowed to have this degree of entropic control over his life? You know? Like, I'm not role-playing Inko. He makes a lot of decisions on his own. I'm not saying they shouldn't, that they were wrong for doing so. I'm saying that these are considerations to have if you ever decide to do your own project. This game had potential, but I think the potential starved, shriveled, bled to death, and was... I mean, that's a little extreme. It has potential, and it delivers on quite a bit. Most of the characters are genuinely likable and spineless. Spineless? I don't know. Liz is a little weird. I mean, the dinner scene definitely shows that she has some spine, though. Lots of edginess. That's pretty much what a fifth grader thinks is edgy. When? Isn't Inko, like, explicitly a big old lab dog? He's a big old Labrador. He's a big old soft pudding boy. The material of high school Phil would happy if you take a bunch of high school romance fanfics made by 4chan users, gnaw on them like a hyena on the bone, then smear the remains into a computer screen. One of the biggest problems is that the main character, the human, is incredibly unlikable. Inko's whole point is that he wants to be extremely likable, though. So I can see why you hate his guts. Like, originally his whole point is that he's just a fucking... Oh. I appreciate that this person who's throwing shade at 4chan users is still like, I don't like Inko. It's like, yeah, he's supposed to be a Redditor, so... Works on both sides, I guess. I don't even hate him, it's just a vague indifference towards him. I don't hate you, I'm vaguely indifferent. It's like being mad at the stick figure. Or worse that I can tell someone somewhere in the development thought that generally to our moment him would be funny or interesting, and they weren't. After reading into the devs records, Coffley says what happens when 4chaners who don't really have lives try their hands at making art. That's a bit rude. And much like the child Vinny, basically glued still macaroni to printer paper. Considering what the development went through, I don't know, man. Some leeway, maybe? Come on. I mean, there is a case to be made that, like, it doesn't matter how bad your development is. What you put out there, right? If you put that shit out there, you are responsible for what it is. And you can't say, but the development. People might not know. If people don't know about the development of your game and they think it sucks hot ass, then, you know, maybe put out a better one. I get it, right? But that's how it works. That's the compromise you've made, is you can't deliver. You have to accept that. You can't pretend that the development is an excuse that works in that context. That's how patch culture gets born. This game is tropey and cliched as fuck. I mean, it depends on who you ask. And I could probably find countless better stories in AOT that were written by terminally online people who seethe about gay people existing. Does this ever get seethe about gay people existing, though? It's really downplayed about that. You could say that about Snoot Game to an extent, but not this. But don't go about the creator. Put a pit in my stomach. An awkward consciousness. I can't recommend it. Why does it have to be so transphobic? What do you mean, transphobic? Oh, the devs. I thought the game. This game is so good and sexy, but man, man, that reminds me of that Fennec Fox that's like sitting down and the caption's like, man. Hold up, I'm reading this stuff. I think this is far enough to go. This game is boring. A friend of mine recommended and kind of hyped it up. Turned out to not be all that great. Lots of filler dialogue. I mean, yes, you need filler dialogue to pad out your characters a little bit. In a visual novel, like half of it is visual. Like if it's just a book, you're kind of limited to what you can do with the writing. But if you have a visual and musical element, you can pad things out a bit more to let the music talk, to let the characters. It's less boring that way. If you want a better game, go play the Telltale games or 999. If anyone deserves to be told to go play the Telltale games, it should be Volcano High. Goodbye Volcano High should have been a fucking Telltale game. They should have followed that formula. If Snoot game, no, getting mixed up. If a Goodbye Volcano High was a Telltale game, everyone would have fucking loved it. If it was one of those 999, those DS games like Layton and everything, it would have been fantastic. But Goodbye Volcano High flew too close to the sun, but also technically the moon and still melted. And that's just the sad part. That's the sad part. The non-re games or Detroit Become Human. Really? Detroit Become Human? Come on. Where choices actually progress. Detroit Become Human progress the story? Come on, man. Stories were interesting. The generic high school plot about a world with dinosaur people doesn't bring up questions about how a human is living a dinosaur or whatever. I mean, fair enough. It doesn't really give a shit about the world, but despite the world kind of being one of the selling points. One of the selling points is you're a human in a high school where everyone else is not a human. And it really doesn't play with that much, does it? It barely plays with Liz's neck. Like, it feels like it's almost embarrassed of what it's doing. Especially in Snoot Game, where it literally does the whole post-racism thing. From a narrative perspective, 8 out of 10. There are a million characters. But half a dozen you get to know. Not really. You don't really get to know them that well. From a gameplay perspective, 1 out of 10. It's a visual novel. Do you expect to fucking gun parry some guys? Barely a handful of choices. I mean, there aren't that many. And there aren't a lot of filler choices either. And half of them don't feel better. Every time I thought it was queuing me up for a big choice, there wasn't one. A lot of the times, characters are being a jerk. Yeah, I mean that's just the problem with having the problem really is if your character's dynamic, you have to split at some point, and if you don't, the longer you linger, the more it feels weird. Give it to alternatives, keep bumming me out. What a sad guy. Sorry to hear, man. Sorry to hear. Oh, you can have reviews just by that. Can I have recent? Why isn't there a little section that's just for like only recent reviews? I guess recent reviews would be like a month. So if I set it to like a month. Oh, recent. There you go. Bunger, no like. Bunger. Oh. I just given him forced to play an incredible snooze fest when you play this again. I will admit that like the premise is. Let me put my little paws on the ground here and put this down. The premise you are sold on with this game is human goes to school is the only human there in a dinosaur school. If that is part of the reason you like it, if you want that world building, that character development, and you don't get that, I can imagine it's a snooze fest because it is just a high school romance when you really dig down into it. There isn't a lot around this in terms of actual tension and shit. Especially because they never really hold up the contesting all that much. It turns into blackmail, but it feels more like that happened because they could, more than it feels like the central tension of the story. At times. Telltale games are not great. Only one can that one. Yeah, but like, if Goodbye Volcano High, the choices don't matter much anyway. There's a couple of scenes you unlock, I guess. So I'm like, if it went that way, right? If it went that dynamic way of letting you make some choices and actually, it's about the roleplay. It's about you making those decisions more than the decisions and the consequences thereof, because you can do that. I'd be happier. If only because the game would actually have some fucking animation in it. Because that engine probably does dinosaurs a lot better than the thing they went with. Boring. It seems a lot of people think this game is boring. Maybe it's because I was reading everything. Like, if you read along with stuff like this, I was busy the whole time. And I will admit, on a replete playthrough in the quiet, I do at some points feel like, man, this scene does kind of drag on, doesn't it? I do have to admit that, to some extent, I do get a little bored. But that's also, I've already played it, right? I've already been through it. So at some point, can you really blame? It's like you're reading a book again. Like, yeah, someone like me would get bored. There we go. Okay, let's do one more. It's okay. Nothing truly crazed me out. To be honest, I'm more indifferent to it than anything. See, at the start, I got super interested. I had hoped that this wasn't going to be a slice of life type of deal. We have no issues. It became bland. Thankfully, there are plenty of issue situations and conflict. Of course, they are actually well written. Is the massive picture here. Considering this is a visual novel, the story is front and center, and the rest is dressing. Ah, it's got some good dressing. The art, animations, and music are all on par, up to par. I would say they're beyond, man. They're pretty good. I like them. I'm jamming. Even with the furry stuff, they're scalies, my man. Scalies, please. For the record, I do not like this type of material. What does that even mean? I like I was used to make for comedy, but that's about it. Yeah, they don't really do it all that well. Like I said, it feels kind of weird. I still think there are multiple scenes that can portray the characters. I still think there are multiple scenes that can portray the characters. Which Inko, for example, here, he seems to be more expressive than the rest and more bombastic. But that's his point. He's a little he's a Labrador. Although there are multiple moments where Akata was out of character of sorts and used to play catch up with the audience in terms of emotions and feelings. The scenes with him and Olivia are decently written, and I just feel like there was stuff like there was a bit of fluff in the mid-range of this game to delay Yatakana and eventual endings. Her disability is fine. Not a lot would have changed if she didn't have it, though. Fair enough. Like, Olivia's disability is more her mental state than it is her physical limitations. Especially since she never does that wheelchair racing thing again. Like, it never really gets used that much. Like, yeah, it's used for metaphorical. I can't climb the stairs to get to the thing. I need someone to help me. It's got to be Inko and his abilities to take pictures and stuff. You know. I guess in that way it's used. But you could write around that, right? If you can write around disability like that, like there are some points, I guess, like the elevator thing and everything. It comes together in like lots of little ways instead of one big thing. And I guess if you're used to one big thing, like there's a moment where the characters go X, Y, Z, and therefore wheelchair, then yeah, I guess you can make that argument. Yeah, I can kind of see how you could make that mistake. But there's a lot of tiny little things that you'd have to write around in all kinds of ways. I think you could though. Could you? There's a question to be asked, like at what point, right? Like how far can you strip the story from certain components and replace them? Oh, I'm not smart enough for that question. Let's ignore it because I'm just going to say dumb things that aren't right. I will admit, I know that this, for some, can mean an invalid review of sorts. He hasn't gotten all the endings, which fair enough, you know. The ending I got 3. Hey, it's the ending that apparently most people get on the first go. It's a slow burner of sorts. It boiled down to Olivia coming to terms with her grief, but a year too late. I think it fits considering what had happened beforehand. She was too scared to face what she needed to move on from, and sort of aided her until she had enough. Until she had thought moving out would have fixed it. Well, I've seen parts of other endings. One thing that did bother me, however, is there's a ton of other characters. There's a ton of the other characters. Ben, Damien, Liz, and that's pretty much it. Oh gosh. Oh yeah, background characters. Everyone else was a massive blur in the grand scheme of things. I just can't tell if I was dumb or if there were genuine writing issues here. I stared at a massive brain fog half midway through this game and started skipping out on texts, just mindlessly clicking. I don't like when I do that, especially in visual novels. I couldn't do that. I was reading everything. By the end of the game, you and Olivia are pretty much all that matters. Yeah, it really does. Like the supporting cast doesn't really do much. Like I think they don't do anything in like the grander sense, right? The emotional ingratiation. Of course, characters are stereotyped. That's how you start with characters. You want to start with a strong, punchy archetype and a twist. That's how you get someone interested. Like, oh, they're a jock, but they're also this. And then you develop that onward, and you figure out the details. Or you start with the archetype and you lead into it. You make that character central enough that you don't need the twist. It's like they're there already. You can't ignore them. But like, you want to start with a simple character unless you really know what you're doing, because otherwise, the average person reading needs to have an immediate foundation scaffolding to put everything else onto. Unless you want to get a fancy again, and I don't. E4 has that problem, yes. I think that in Snoot game it works better because E4 in that feels like adults are being adults, and E3 feels like the actual fairy tale ending because it's so fucking up its own ass. But like the whole, like they're working for the movies and Damien works at a studio as an actor. Like, why is Damien doing arts? Shouldn't Damien be like a construction guy or a plumber? Because that feels way more in line. Shouldn't he be doing his fucking dad's propane thing? You know, follow the stupid joke. Worried mom. Oh, I love the character oriented. I would have loved for a more character oriented decision from Olivia. It focuses so much on her, but it felt so disconnected. What else has she really brought up to the table that others haven't? Feels like others are speaking more for her than she is for herself. I don't think it was probably intentional. Fair enough, blank slate characters are valid and can be infused effectively. I don't think this guy understands the point he's trying to make, though. Felt like too much time was wasted on cheering her up instead of making goals and achievements for her. I was particularly right about a couple of things you said about her. Besides, I don't know what else to say. This game was a fun time, but holy shit. I should have slept. Oh, I mean, if you don't like filler, if you just want the punchy bits, then yeah. Yeah, I can see why you'd fall off if all you want is the punchy bits, you know? Ooh. If you're looking for a game with a romance and disability reputation, this both has them in a lukewarm capacity. Yeah. Especially since Olivia's disability is really weird. Like, let me sit you down, right? Let me go back to that guy who said like Olivia's disability doesn't really matter. Olivia's disability is written in such a way that a lot of questions you have to ask about disabilities are ignored, right? Because the most common way you end up in a wheelchair is your legs are fucked up and you can't stand or walk. Uh, in like your bones aren't right, your muscles aren't right, your sense of balance is bad. It can be you're paralyzed from the waist down, in which case you have to ask questions about your bladder. Is she wearing a diaper? Does she need assistance going to the bathroom? And those are weird, odd questions that come with disabilities, right? Like, what the thing with disability is a disability is a burden. And if you want to write a disability, it needs to be a burden that a character has to absorb. Like, if you want to date Olivia, Anon, or Inko, you must accept that that disability is a part of your life now, too. You become disabled by proxy. There are things you can no longer do because if you want to take her along, you have to make compromises. And Olivia sidesteps so much of that with she can stand on her tail, she can stand on her feet. It's from the knees down, which is, again, really weird. It it creates this situation, right, where Olivia is a normal girl for the most part. She doesn't have any physical anomalies or anything. It's not, oh, her feet are tiny, so she can't actually stand up. It's nothing. Olivia is perfectly fine. You can just ignore it 90% of the time. When you're cuddling on the couch, it's perfectly fine. There's no problems. And to me, I guess from that perspective, if you really want that hardcore, this is what a disability does to a human being, then yeah, it does kind of shit the bed. Because Olivia isn't actually, she isn't imposing anything on anyone in that way. Like, Enko just fucking gets to go around. The problem he has with her in ending 1 is she dies, in ending 2 she's an asshole, in ending 3 it's because she's not doing anything. Like, Olivia's wheelchair doesn't even affect the fucking endings, all things considered. Like, yeah, it's the reason she falls down the stairs, but that could have happened if she stood on 2 legs too. Like, gosh, thinking about it, she didn't even race with the fucking wheelchair. Come on, put Enko in her lap and go race. Come on. Safi, just admit that you gave yourself a whole lot of fucking work to work with. God damn it. Punch drunk? Punch drunk Gator? Yeah. Okay. That dragon visual novel with the shitty time travel plot and the character's personality is just tropes. Ugh. Had like the rewrites. First time writers kick, second time was rewrite to put the cough TM allegory. Anyway, tomorrow we'll have Endless Madness. I have a lot to think about when it comes to things, and I'll forget it. I'll probably forget it before it becomes relevant, like a smart man always does. But yeah, thinking about it, Olivia's disability is really just a bit of weird set dressing. Dude, I got shit to do tomorrow. I gotta go. Thank you all for coming. Tomorrow we'll probably do Endless Madness, if not another chapter. We'll see where we are at when we're there. I'll figure out a time and everything else. But thank you for coming. Like I said, my brain's a little fucked up right now, so I need something to break the flow in my brain. You know, something that actually cuts off the video nice and clean. And before before we when you leave, you have to decide for yourself